No. We've been getting into drama ourselves, okay? I talked about this person a couple of times recently. Honestly, I have nothing against them. We have a lot of disagreements, I think. They had like a surgery that went badly wrong and caused a lot of health problems. But they seem very much still on the train of, you know, pro-surgery. Trans people should all get surgery and stuff like this. Otherwise, you're not trans. I think that's what they said. If I'm misrepresenting you, I apologize. So we've got, Chloe's got a big cock and it's bigger than yours, the Mary Chew response. I mean, if this person still has their cock, then yes, it is automatically bigger than mine. And if they're like pre-op, it's a bit odd because the last video they did, like they were kind of talking about, you know, you're not trans if you're not doing this, that, or the other. I'll just see if I can find the part that I'm talking about because they said that they said that they watched me on this last video, so we'll just try and refresh our memories, I guess.
Be into makeup in here. They all have an idea of fashion where an AGP won't. Unfortunately, that's kind of what they are, really. And whether that is true or not, I mean, with Chloe, okay, I'm into women. Does that make me AGP? Not necessarily. I'm not saying the others are AGP, but I'm just like, I was always into makeup and hair and feminine and all about passing, all about pro-surgery. Never strong enough.
Yeah, all about pro-surgery. This is what I meant. Like, I watched a Lee Francis video and I was kind of saying that maybe it's best to, like, you know, accept yourself and just kind of come to terms with what and who you are before you get to the point where you're getting all these risky surgeries that might cause all kinds of problems, as this person should know, unfortunately, you know. I don't think that really got understood, but we'll see if in this one we touch on it a bit more. It's the same day. I wonder if this was the same day.
To say, oh, I'll just get I don't have enough money and I'll have to settle for where I am. That isn't a true transgender person, by the way. That is someone that's just mentally fucked up.
Yeah, so like true trans, we're differentiating. If you're true trans, you get all the surgeries, you try and pass as much as humanly possible. Ultimately, transition isn't really about passing as much as humanly possible. It's about trying to become happy in who you are. You know what I mean? Passing shouldn't be so bad that you obsess over it. That is true. I mean, listen, getting obsessed with the, like, passing, that in itself can become, like, pathological. You don't want it to take over your life. Especially to the point where you're, like, doing risky shit. And it's a bit sad. You know, we watched that Lee Francis thing where she kind of spells all that out. Like that I'm getting dysphoria from continuing to do more and more things and realizing there's less and less I can do. And I'm having to do more and more extreme things. But I'm still going to do these things. And it's like, that kind of made my heart sink a little bit because I feel like I got to that point of I'm always going to have this dysphoria and there's going to be shit that I can't do anything about before I got to the point of getting all these surgeries like on my face and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And like even facial surgery, it's risky. It's like kind of crazy to me. You actually hear about what it is that they do. It's a lot. There's a lot of risk. And this person knows.
Otherwise, why don't you just stay your male self and get a wife, have some kids, and have a normal good life, a good work-life balance.
I mean, for someone like me, like a normal life, unfortunately, was just out of the question.
Employment. Because the transgender people that transition, that were men married to women or had girlfriends and they transition, their life plummets to the ground when they transition, a lot of them, because all of a sudden they say, oh, people just got to accept me for me and people gaslight me and all this sort of stuff. I'm just like, I would be mortified if someone wound down the window and said, freak, yelled out the window and said that to me, or gave me sideways looks in the street. A little kid said, Mummy, what is that man wearing a dress for? Oh my God, I think I would go into a deep coma and lock myself in a room for 3 days. Like, but it does seem quite normal for trans people to be like that. And
hi Amy, it's been a while. I hope you're good.
I haven't met any transgender person that is into women that transitions like me. No one. Zero in my 6 years of transitioning. I have met 3 trans women that pass with surgeries, that are born.
I don't know how aware this person is. Lots of people just can't afford all this like surgery stuff. And their message seems to be, well, get a budget, do all this shit or don't bother. It's not really that simple for a lot of people, unfortunately.
Men that were into men that transitioned to fabulous women and they look stunning. You look at Blair White, Lee Francis, Matilda, you know, Alexa Blake, Becky Bolton. They are all into men and they all pass really well. And then there's Chloe. Am I like the sore bum? Like, honestly, like, come on. And I was watching a live transgender live
Here we go. So we're going to get more about me. They're talking about me now.
lady doing a YouTube live, and she was talking about, oh, I'll never pass, and I get abuse and sideways looks and stuff like that, and I was like,
I didn't really understand the point of my video, which is sad, but hey.
I looked at her and thought she probably could pass, but she's got a really negative attitude and a dumb mindset. And I was just like, imagine being that way and just settling, oh well, people just got to accept me for who I am. Bugger that. I know that's a wonderful way to look at things, but...
And that wasn't what I said either. What I said was, you have to accept yourself. Other people aren't going to necessarily accept you, and that's what you got to get used to. Like, what happens if someone does call you a freak? It might happen any day now, you know?
You know, like, I would be pretty surprised if you work in the general public sector. You will work behind, in an office, closed doors, where you're not out in the public. You'll work from home business. You'll work at the back flipping burgers. You will be a prostitute. You won't have those jobs where you're the eye of the public. Now, if you transition, like me, you will.
Technically, being a prostitute is, like, public facing. By the way, I have never been a prostitute.
Opportunities will come your way. You know, I've been a successful...
And this person doesn't know that I used to work at like a bar. I've done plenty of customer facing jobs, often in the early parts of my transition where I didn't look good. But you do what you have to do. In a situation like what I was in, you're getting whatever job will have you. You know what I mean? You do whatever it takes to get a job and earn money.
Car sales lady as Chloe, and I'm sold high-end vehicles.
Like, can you imagine this person working in like a Weatherspoon? Even now, people would give you shit. There is no doubt in my mind. It's not that I think you look bad or sound bad or anything like that. Someone will pick up that you're trans and have some shit to say about it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you're looking like this or looking like what I did back in 2016, which was not especially pretty, I'll be honest. I think we have a lot of faith in like surgeries and stuff like that. It's only so far it goes.
And, you know, I'm enjoying what I do now. So I'm just like, I'm out in the public and no one misgenders me. It's always Chloe. It's always her.
Okay, we get the picture. So they've now made another video. Chloe's got a big cock and it's bigger than yours, the Mary Chu response.
Hello. I'm not using a filter. Not using any filters on my face.
Oh, someone mentioned it in chat and I said it. I don't know if they use filters. I can't tell. I don't actually really know how to like pick out the filters.
Now, it does annoy me, that comment that people would say she uses heavy filters. No, I don't. This is just me. The phone is just set on normal. And someone actually thought I was early 50s. Really?
Listen, that was my bad, okay? That was my bad. I shouldn't guess people's ages. That's on me. That's fine. Listen, I'll take the L on that one. That's fine.
Get your eyesight check, love. Anyhow, how's everyone going? I've just been like hit hard with a transgender YouTuber, and it was interesting watching them actually, their point of view on transition. And transgender people will never be women, and they just have to accept their manly mannerisms and
Yeah, I stand by that.
manly this and.
Manly mannerisms less so. Whether you're manly or not, it kind of depends on the trans person, but you're still male. You're still a man in the traditional sense of man being adult human male, you know?
I know I do have some.
Yeah, is it another case of like cleaning the lens might help? I'm not sure. Listen, I believe if you're not using filters, I believe you. Listen. Should have said early 60s. I'm not trying to be like rude to people. That's the thing. I made an offhand comment that I was wrong about, and I found their actual age. And I made sure to be clear that I was wrong about that, and I probably spoke out of turn. You know?
Some breathing difficulties when I do my YouTube videos. I forget to breathe. I actually have a nasal problem out of the left-hand nostril since I had my rhinoplasty in India.
It's almost like these surgeries are like risky and cause a lot of problems. So why do you glorify them?
Even though the nose looks good, there's only a little bit of capacity out of this nostril.
Like, I don't know how much I like how my nose looks. Hang on. I don't know how much I like how my nose looks, but I can breathe fine through it. If I end up getting a rhinoplasty, I might end up having problems. Is it good to like glorify that kind of stuff? That's kind of what I'm against. I wonder if I need to like really drill down and listen to a whole bunch of these people talk about like surgery and like really start talking about how we glorify surgeries the way that we do. And it's very risky behavior for the sake of like passing like 1% more, maybe.
And I do notice it when I walk with my friend in Auckland upstairs. I'm deep breathing, and it's very obvious to me watching that person's live, the Mary Chur live, how people thought I sounded. People think that I haven't had the voice surgery and that I sound really masculine. People think I'm misogynistic. People think that I'm got massive shoulders, massive hands, massive this, massive.
Listen, chat can be brutal. You gotta just kind of get with the program, unfortunately. This is what I mean. Like, saying earlier, I'd be devastated if someone like side-eyed me or someone called me a freak in the street. Plenty of us haven't had much choice. And I've been having people say all kinds of shit to me, even before I transitioned. Even before I started like feminizing, wearing makeup, stuff like that. You just gotta get used to it and think of those people as like, well, these people are like small-minded. Do I care that much what they think? And this is what I mean, like, talk about customer-facing jobs. I worked in a Weatherspoon for well over a year. At the start of my transition, some people were brutal, but you just get used to it. You get used to like just not caring that much. It toughened me up. I can take it now. Some fucking weirdo shouts nonce at me from a van window and drives off like a fucking wuss. To me, it's like, who fucking cares what that person thinks? They see a trans person, they have a go at them. They might well see a black person next and have a go at them. They're probably just a fucking prick. You know what I mean?
This massive cock. You fucking. I sound really masculine. People think I'm misogynistic. People think that I'm got massive shoulders, massive hands, massive this, massive cock.
Yeah, my chat thinks you have a massive cock, definitely.
You fucking bet my cock's fucking bigger than yours, bitch.
Probably is.
Oh, that's right, you've had yours cut off.
Well, you're pre-op. Interesting. It's just all the things like, well, real trans people would get this, that, and the other done. Well, I got sexual reassignment surgery. I don't have a penis anymore. What's the most obvious sign of like manhood? It's your penis.
Well, you should have done more than just get your dick cut off.
Why? I'm perfectly happy.
Anyhow, and now I get abused. Oh yeah, she's still got the big cock. So what if I got a big cock? I've enjoyed having a big cock over the years. I've penetrated quite a few girls over there.
Listen, the laughter is extremely forced, and this is not very becoming. But I admire the confidence. I don't dislike this person. That's the thing. I find them funny. There's definitely no one else out there like them, and I tend to like that kind of thing in people. You know.
I've enjoyed having. So what if I got a big cock? I've enjoyed having a big cock over the years. I've penetrated quite a few girls over that. With that. Where's this video going? Do you like my boobies?
Listen, it's like un-PC as fuck, but I have a soft spot, I guess.
Big cock, big tits. Oh, only Chloe could get away with saying that. I'm just a bit of a dick, okay? I'm just joking. And, well, am I joking? Not really. I just like to have a bit of a laugh. And I know without all these little keyboard warriors chiming in and saying, oh, she's misogynistic. Oh, she will never be a woman. Blah, blah, blah. Well, go and fucking jam your cock in some glory hole and get it sucked off, you fucking dick.
I think quite a lot of the people calling you misogynist are women, but sure.
And Chloe Daniels, yeah, I'll pick you up and body slam you. And I get hassled for being a truck driver. I mean, so what? Probably earn more money than you. I mean, yeah, I was a car sales lady. And apparently, I'm an entitled bitch. Apparently, I have lots of money. Not of all these surgeries, they keep you broke. But I'm grateful for where I'm at.
Yeah, you spent all your money on surgeries that almost killed you and have given you, like, health problems. We are kind of vaguely approaching my actual point, at least.
Really?
I don't know. When I react to people, they assume I have much more of a problem with them than I actually do. When I've, like, had an interaction with someone that wasn't exactly favorable in some way, people assume that it's much more serious on my end than it actually is. Like, someone like that Max from Trans in the Mouth, who was like exceptionally rude to me, let's be honest. Like, I can still watch him back, arguing with fucking Paul Vogler, and end up cheering him on, you know what I mean? Because it's not that serious for me. I don't care. Someone like Alec Gunter refers to me as one of his haters. Like, yeah, I guess I make content about him and I slag him off and shit, but it's not that deep for me. I don't really care that much. I'll break bread with almost anyone, honestly.
And I never thought I looked older than 46. Gosh, someone said I dress old. No, I dress on my age and my figure, thank you. Anyway, see, you can see my neck. It's still a little bit fluffy, and it's getting there though.
Yeah, like, how long? I can't. They make new channels and stuff. It's been a long time. They had an infection in their neck from facial feminization surgery. I think this was a long time ago. And it's like, it's still taking a lot of work to get back to normal. And again, that's like the heart of my whole point there. You're like glorifying surgeries that almost killed you. You talk about you've got breathing problems because of your rhinoplasty. Like, there's a common cause there. Like, if this makes you happy, then fair enough. But like, don't get yourself killed over it. You know what I mean?
Yes, I had a surgical complication in India. But it doesn't... Well, yeah, I'm petrified with my neck surgery, but shit happens.
And you still like glorify it for other people. Like, at least we're vaguely approaching my point, I guess. That's really scary. Yeah, in that Lee Francis video, she talked about how like Chloe got this like super bug, like all this stuff coming out of it and stuff, was like quarantined for like months or something because of how risky the surgery was. And again, in that video as well, Lee Francis goes on to be like, well, I'm still getting the surgeries myself. And it makes me sad, honestly. I very much worry about the way that some trans people treat like cosmetic surgeries. I think it's concerning, honestly. Is there not a better way than risking your life, getting all this kind of stuff done for very diminishing returns? I just don't know about that. Like, what health complications are you prepared to accept over this? And what's it actually doing for you? Apart from draining your bank balance. You might pass very slightly more, but you never stop getting them. So apparently it's only helping so much. Apparently it's not. Any one of these things aren't going to be the last, aren't going to be the point where you're like, okay, I've done this, that, and the other, and I'm now happy enough with my appearance. It kind of seems like these people just keep going and keep going. Look at Brianna Wu. Like, and half her face is like kind of paralyzed, you know what I mean? It killed Pete Burns. I don't know much about Pete Burns. Yeah, obviously, I mean, you can see straight away how much work they got done. Sudden cardiac arrest. Health and legal issues. Addiction to cosmetic surgery. The number of surgeries I've had is probably 300. First thing was a rhinoplasty in 84. The operation was a disaster. My nose completely caved in on one side. I'm at home recovering. I'm on top of the pops next Tuesday. A botched lip augmentation. The filler spread to the rest of his face, leaving holes in his skin which would excrete yellow fluid. Additional problems included pulmonary embolism and near-fatal blood clots. Collapse from a kidney ailment. Don't know if that's related, to be fair. Sued a cosmetic surgeon over this. But is it worth it? Is this going to make you happy? And what's the other side of it? What's the other side of it? All these health complications. Is it really worth it? I just struggle to believe that it is. And that was my whole argument was, is it not better to accept yourself? You'll always look male on a certain level because you are male. And just to make peace with that. To, you know, not risk your life over looking very slightly more feminine. That's like what my argument is ultimately. It's a shame. I understand why it happens. I understand why people see my criticisms and just kind of zero in on things like me getting their age wrong, which, you know, that's fair enough. That's my mistake. Things like that. But I would wish that people would get to the heart of my argument more often and, you know, spell out what it is that I'm actually ultimately saying and tell me why you're happy still glorifying these surgeries despite how risky they are, despite the diminishing returns. And they must be familiar with the Lee Francis video because they saw me watching it, because they commented on my live. So they must understand the arguments. And Lee Francis was even kind of acknowledging that it was getting extreme, that it's an addiction, that it's a treadmill, and it just gets worse and worse for like diminishing returns, increasingly like risky procedures, talking about like rib removals and like BBLs. BBLs are dangerous. People die from that shit. And that's what I'm trying to say. I think we're like over the top over this shit, you know?
And transition all the way, as Chloe will always say.
Transition all the way, but still pre-op.
Anyway.
Because it's about appearance, isn't it? Like, getting sexual reassignment surgery, as much as it probably seems otherwise, it's not really that great for passing. Because you can learn how to tuck, you can wear clothes that aren't form-fitting in that particular area. So it's not really necessary if your goal is just appearance. But it was a bit different for me, I guess. I don't know. That's the whole thing. Like, being trans is very different from one person to another, for sure. People seem to come to trans for a lot of different reasons, via a lot of different paths.
And transition all the way, as Chloe will always say.
I mean, yeah, it used to be about looks for me as well, mostly. The surgery was like something that was offered, and I wanted it. I didn't particularly like having a penis. At a certain point, I started dating someone who, before me, was like a lesbian. You know, gold star lesbian, who I'm still with, by the way. And like what we did try, like when I was pre-op, it was like awkward, you know?
Anyway, I'll get heaps of flack for this video.
Listen, if you're watching me, don't give this person flack. We're fine, honestly. It's not as serious as it seems.
Preacher live. I quite like what she says and does. She doesn't really attack people too much. But, well, not deliberately. But she's got her beliefs and it's completely different to mine. And I am a needle in a haystack, the way I think. And I believe I do it the right way. And I think a lot of people are inspired by what I...
Listen, I have my criticisms. I respect that. I don't dislike this person. I hope that's clear. I find them endlessly entertaining. There's something kind of unique and funny about them that you just don't really see in many people. Like, it's not about hate for me. It's not about, like, I have different perspectives and I'm open about them and I kind of directly challenge people on stuff, you know? It's not that deep.
I do and say and how I transition. And yeah, what's wrong with passing? Nothing. Have a good one, guys. See you on the next.
I agree. The problem is the obsession with passing that leads you to like increasingly risky behavior that gets you hurt, that leads to health complications. And again, at what point are the potential complications not worth passing any further? At what point? I think no matter how many of these surgeries you get, you still have to get to a point eventually of accepting yourself. You know what I mean? And my whole argument was, isn't it better to get to that point before you're having all these surgeries that are risking your health, leading to complications? Like they say about they can't breathe through one side of their nose. That's far from the first person I've seen that seems to have a lot of problem breathing through their nose. I'm pretty sure Brianna Wu is very similar in this department. Seems to have a lot of problem breathing through her nose. What with all the work that she's had done. Like it seems better to accept yourself and to understand the limitations of your transition before it gets pathological, before you start hurting yourself, before you start taking on extremely risky behavior, risky surgeries. That's what I'm trying to say. And listen, like I said, I don't hate this person. I wouldn't want to see people giving this person shit on my account because it's not like that. It's not that deep. You want to say you've got a bigger cock than me? Yeah, you do. That's fine. I can't take that away from you and I'm not trying to. But there we go. Listen, that was fun. Pathological to begin with. Well, I think it depends. Like I said, like trans people become trans for a lot of different reasons. And it really depends on how it affects your life. It depends on what you do and how you think about it. Ultimately, that's what I would like to, like with some of the stuff I've been doing recently, talking about trans shit, talking about my experiences and stuff. I think there are better attitudes than what I'm seeing that need to be encouraged, I guess. Because expecting everyone to see you as a woman is unrealistic. Getting surgery after surgery to influence people to see you as a woman is dangerous. I just think there's a better way, you know?